VSL Test Interpretation, Sensory Evaluation, brought to you by the Cornell University Milk Quality Improvement Program and the Cornell Dairy Extension Group. In this module, we'll explain why sensory results are important for processors, why milk develops sensory defects, how sensory evaluation is performed, and how to interpret the sensory results on your VSL report. Your sensory results are important because your customers will judge the quality of your milk based on how it looks, tastes, and smells. They will sometimes get upset if the milk spoils before its code date, and this may hurt repeat business. Visible defects like coagulation, ropiness, or pigmented milk can be photographed and posted on social media. Sensory defects in milk can come from many sources. Bacterial defects often get the most attention as they are caused by high counts of spoilage bacteria in the milk. Bitter, acid, fruity, malty, rancid, and unclean flavors can all result from high levels of spoilage bacteria. Physical defects like coagulation and ropiness also occur, as do visual defects like a gray pigment. In this photo, the milk in the bottle on the left has coagulated and developed a gray color. Many sensory defects aren't caused by bacteria, but rather by the way the milk is treated on the farm or at the plant. To keep milk tasting good, it's important to prevent the formation of both bacterial and non-bacterial defects by following good agricultural practices and good manufacturing practices. We'll discuss specific strategies for prevention of non-bacterial defects later in this presentation. 6 of our sensory panelists taste milk samples on the initial day of our shelf life testing and on days 14 and 21 of shelf life. When they taste a sample, they're looking for common flavor, odor, and textural defects that they've been trained to recognize. They report any defects they find and assign the milk a flavor score from 0 to 10. The sensory score reported is the average of the individual panelists' scores, and we also report any defect named by 2 or more of the panelists. There are columns on your VSL report for both flavor score and flavor criticisms, also known as defects. Samples with low standard plate counts and low total gram-negative counts throughout their shelf life usually won't have bacterial sensory defects, but they may still have processing or age-related defects, such as cooked flavor and a lack of freshness, as is seen in sample 32. On day 21, sample 32 had a flavor score of 9.0 out of 10, which is very good. On the other hand, samples with high standard plate counts and high total gram-negative counts throughout their shelf life usually have bacterial flavor defects and lower sensory scores. On day 14 of shelf life, sample 33 had a total gram-negative count of 160 million and a flavor score of 2.2. Fruity, bitter, rancid, and coagulated defects were noted by the panelists as a result of this high-level gram-negative bacterial contamination. Flavor scores below 6 indicate poor sensory quality, and we stop performing sensory testing on milk after it reaches this point, with the milk receiving automatic flavor scores of 0 for the remainder of shelf life. The flavor criticisms noted by the sensory panelists can point to specific types of spoilage bacteria in the milk. For instance, acid defects are typically caused by lactic acid bacteria, fruity and fermented defects are typically caused by Pseudomonas, and malty defects are caused by a specific variety of Streptococcus lactis. Other defects point less clearly to a specific type of bacteria but are still indicative of bacterial spoilage. Prevention of bacterial defects is accomplished through good sanitation and manufacturing practices and by proper refrigeration of milk. Non-bacterial defects can indicate problems with cow health, farm conditions, or processing and storage issues. Common non-bacterial defects include cooked flavor due to vat pasteurization or too intense HTST pasteurization, chemical flavor from residual cleaner or sanitizer, flat flavor from dilution of milk with water, and light oxidized flavor from exposure of milk to light in clear containers. Most non-bacterial defects point to specific problems in production or manufacturing that can be addressed by altering practices. Thank you for watching this module. If you're interested in taking classes with us, learning more about our research, or participating in our voluntary shelf life program, please refer to the information on this slide.